figure out the plan, and the committee discusses it. It's open to the public. Other committee members can attend if they want. We then discuss, everything that was happening at a committee meeting is discussed on a Monday night meeting. So, I don't know, it's worked well. Our structure has worked well. I think we're a pretty high functioning school district. People seem pretty happy. So, you know, the committee meetings are for the board members to get the information they need to make decisions to recommend. And so it's important that the committee members can make those meetings and it's successful to them. So.
Thank you, Mrs. Earle. I'm giving you my perspective on this, the outgoing board president having no dog in the fight whatsoever. You know, when you're tasked with putting together committees, it's like putting together a puzzle with pieces that don't fit. It's very difficult to make everybody happy, but what you look at is what will make the most people happy or fit for most people on the board, what works for the majority of the board. And that's more or less what you do. And that's more or less the way I've approached it. And I agree with Mrs. Riley as to committee work. And also, many of our committees are now on video, on YouTube, so people can go out and see what happens at our committee meeting. And in general, I think we're open. If a question was asked, it's been answered, either by a committee chair or by me. So I think we've done a pretty good job at that. But again, when you put this together, you try to meet the needs of as many people as possible. You're not going to make everybody happy. It's also sometimes not possible to put someone in a role consistent with their skill set. That sometimes works. We try to do that. It sometimes doesn't work. And I can just speak for myself. I did the best I could. Was it perfect? No, but you do the best you can. But again, you've got to be cognizant of the fact that you have to look at what the majority wants and what's best for them, what works for the administrative team when you make these decisions on committee times. Anything else on that subject?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. First of all, we have several teachers in attendance, a new incoming board member who works at a school, and I'm a teacher, who's saying that curriculum meetings during the day actually don't really work because getting coverage is nearly impossible. We shouldn't be simply inviting teachers to meetings, we should be encouraging their input. And I just think if you're a department chair, part of your responsibility is to report to the board anyway, and that can be done at any point of the day. So in terms of curriculum and using the 11 o'clock as making it an available time to teachers, I think that might be a disillusion of yours. I think that in terms of curriculum, to preclude somebody who is passionate about it from attending a meeting because a chair doesn't want to move the time seems a little bit unfair. And to throw somebody like me on finance with absolutely no background simply because that time might be able to move up to after school on a certain day doesn't make as much sense to me either. In terms of meeting times, accommodating working people, with all due respect, that work does extend past a 9 to 5 schedule. You can see from this that throughout the county, districts have made it work, either through a committee of the whole option, where you meet once a month and you hash things out, and then the other Monday is a voting meeting. I know Terry came up with a bunch of these last year and they were kind of tabled, but there are solutions to this from the 3:30 hour on that wouldn't maybe necessarily go into some evenings when other people work. So I really would like our incoming board to be very open-minded to the fact that we really should put people where they fit our district best and where the district can benefit from having them. I can be completely honest that I am of no benefit to this district on the financial team. Reading budgets and everything, I am completely trusting. So from that respect, I really hope that the incoming leadership takes into account some skill sets and how it really could benefit our district. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Barker. Mr. Zepos?
Well, good evening. I'm not sure how to begin this, but Someone once told me if you want something done, you give it to a busy person. And I believe all of us are very busy, but I also believe all of us should know what we're getting into. And if it's important, we have to make time. I'm not an educator, I'm not a teacher, I don't play one on TV, but I look at these hours here on this report. I mean, I look at curriculum 7:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30. Does this mean that educators are going home and coming back? I mean, I don't really think there's ever a really good time. It's just a matter of if it's important, you make time and you do it. On a personal level, for those of you who know me, I work a lot and I love what I do and I don't want any pity for it. These are the choices I make. Monday nights are actually the only night I have off, if you call it a full night off. You know, so, but I also, to Susan's point, I think everybody on the board, whether you have a finance background or an educational background, business background, whatever it is, I think we all bring a lot to the board, and I don't think we should sell ourselves short with that. What we bring to the board is our character to make decisions and listening to each other. So, you know, Susan, I'm not a finance guru. I was in finance a long time ago, but I just kind of base off the trust of our board and the information we get to make right decisions. And I wouldn't want anybody to sell themselves short with anything, whether you're in curriculum, policy, finance, facilities, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to throw that in there and, you know, see what we can work out with that. That's just my 26 cents. Thanks.
Anything else? Mrs. Taylor?
Sorry.
That's fine.
Just to respond to some of the things that have been brought up, yes, we all work. And with all due respect to the majority of you who work, you own your own businesses. So you're a little more flexible in scheduling meetings during the workday. I don't have that availability. Mrs. Larkin doesn't have that availability. Mr. McCaffrey, I'm sure, working for a school district, may not have that availability. I'm not trying to create a pissing contest, for lack of a better word, but we really do want to try to work together. This board has been so divisive over the last 2 years, even just the way we're seated at the table, us versus them. Team A, Team B. Well, I call you the swing vote because you sometimes go either way. My point is, I think it's really important. There's been a lot of discussion in the community after the last board meeting when I was cornered in the hallway by about 20 community members about letting things go, moving forward, extending the olive branch, trying to come together. And I think for me personally, that's what these comments are about. Let's try to engage the community more. Let's try to work together as a team, not, you know, making phone calls here, making phone calls there, and then forgetting who you talk to and giving the wrong information to the wrong person, where you're actually bad-mouthing people. Let's just talk about it in public and put our heads together and not come at this as an adversarial situation. That's all.
You done? Moving on. Board member recognition.
Okay. On a positive note and a positive ending, on behalf of the entire staff, administration team, and current board members here at Wyomissing Area School District, we would like to recognize Sandy Reese, Jenny Riley, and Scott Painter for your tireless work that you have given back to our district during your tenure. First, we say thank you to Sandy Reese. Sandy has given us 4 years of her time, was chairperson for multiple committees, was board liaison for Berks EIT, and also served as board vice president last year. Next is Jenny Riley. Jenny also spent 4 years on the board. She was a chairperson of several committees as well, and was also our BCIU liaison this past year. Jenny also served as our board president last year. Next is Scott Painter. Scott was a 2-term board member, giving us 8 years of service. Scott chaired countless committees, served as our BCTC liaison for 7 years, and is also our current board president. I know my feelings are echoed by all the board members when I say thank you for your time and thank you for your efforts. What I've outlined above cannot begin to capture the true amount of work you have given back to our school. You have given a combined of 16 years of your personal time back to our district, and we are in a better place because of you. You did all this as a volunteer while juggling business obligations, family obligations, and countless other community volunteering efforts as well. Having had the good fortune of working with each of you over the past 2 years has been a privilege, and we are all better board members because of it. You have been mentors to all of us, and we say thank you. On behalf of the entire Wyomissing Area School District, we say thank you, Sandy, thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Scott, for your impeccable work over the years. As a token of our great appreciation for all you have done during your time as school board directors, we are pleased to present you with these gifts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Renner. I really do appreciate those kind words, as I'm sure Sandy and Jenny do as well. And it's really been a pleasure serving this district for 8 years. I've got to say, I've served with some of the finest people in our community, people who truly care about public education. I can't say enough about our administrative team. I think they're the finest around, without question. That's the central office level, the building level as well. I think they're fantastic. I think they're absolutely top-notch. Our teachers are second to none, without question. We have the finest staff of teachers in this county, perhaps even in this state, and our academic record proves that point. And also the support staff is fantastic, led by my favorite support staff person, Mrs. Filer. People maybe don't realize she's behind the scenes, very quiet down there taking roll call, but trust me, if she wasn't there, this place would come to a screeching halt immediately, without question. So thank you so much. You've been a great asset to this district and to me personally, especially during this last year. So thank you very much. Anybody else have anything to add? Okay. Well, we're not quite done yet. We actually have something else on the agenda. We have right to know requests as listed. There's just one there. And updates from organizations, anything from the Wyomissing Education Association? No? AFSCME, Wyomissing Education Foundation, PTA? Okay, now for the last time. Motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed nay? Okay, we're adjourned.